the last video, I talked a lot about what forgiveness is and what forgiveness is not. In this video, I want to talk to you about the great benefits that can come to you by learning how to authentically forgive. And to do this, I'd like to talk to you about flossing your teeth. Now, you may think that's kind of funny that I'm talking about flossing your teeth when it comes to forgiving. But how many of you would consider that flossing your teeth is a good thing to do? I'm certainly sure that your dentist would tell you that flossing your teeth is important for all of the right reasons. But do you? Do you think that flossing your teeth is a good thing to do? You probably do. And you could probably tell me all the reasons why flossing your teeth is important. For oral health, for good dental hygiene, to reduce bad breath, to reduce cavities, to reduce gum disease. And dentists say that we should floss at least once a day. However, the statistics show that only about 1/3, 1 out of 3 adults in the United States floss their teeth on a regular basis. Now, if flossing your teeth is that good for you, why don't more people do it? Well, I think the reason they don't do it is that the benefits come later, or they think that the harm that it would do by not flossing is going to come later. Their cavities are months, years away, that they really don't have to worry about it today. And that's what some people think about forgiving as well, that they're going to put it off until they feel better. They're going to put it off until everything is fine, and then they're going to realize they don't need to do it, and so they don't. Well, part of the reason that people don't floss is they just don't make it a habit. Even though they know it's good for them, they don't practice it, they don't make it a habit. I want you to consider making forgiving, authentic forgiving, a habit. And to help influence you and motivate you to make this a habit, I want to share with you what some of the great benefits are to forgiving on a regular basis. Now, over the past several videos, I've talked about this idea of relieving yourself of emotional burdens to get rid of some of the emotional pain that you're feeling. But there's some other benefits that come to forgiving as well. For example, I call it spiritual integrity. And by spiritual integrity, I'm not talking about something that's necessarily religious. What I'm talking about is that as you start to see the good in yourself, when you start to forgive yourself of your own offenses and the things that you've done wrong, the mistakes that you've made, maybe the blunders that you've had, you start to see yourself in a different light. And that's part of the reason why we started this whole video series on the subject of self-worth, because I wanted you to grow from within this idea that you are worthy of happiness and therefore you are worthy of your own forgiveness. And when you forgive yourself, you see yourself better. You see the good things about yourself that you haven't been able to see before. And the beauty is that you start to see those good things in others. And when you start to see the good things in others, you just have a greater sense of purpose and that life is better. You're happier and the people around you are happier as well. There's many other benefits to forgiving. For example, a deeper, stronger, more abiding love for everyone that's important to you. It's unfortunate that the people that we love the most are sometimes the people that hurt us the most. And so your forgiving needs to be directed towards those people. And when you can forgive them, it opens the door to greater love, better love, deeper relationships, more intimacy in your relationships. And by intimacy, what I really mean is that emotional connectedness that we all desire and that we all seek after. There is other benefits such as greater self-worth and greater self-esteem. When you are unburdened, you feel that much better about yourself. And so your self-worth, your self-esteem, and your self-confidence grows as well. A couple of the other benefits that come from forgiving is something that I call selective remembrance. Now, when you're unwilling to forgive someone, you're able to recall everything that they have done to hurt your feelings. You look for it. You're looking at them as an enemy. And so when you forgive them, you start to forget things. You start to see them in a new light. Now, this becomes really important when we talk about the fourth step in authentic forgiving, because you really want to see them in a new light. And that's one of the benefits of forgiving, is that you actually forget some of the things that they have done, so that they don't look like an enemy to you. They look like a friend. The other benefit that you could receive from forgiving is something that I call divine blindness, that you actually become blinded to other people's weaknesses, flaws, and mistakes. It's something beautiful that happens to us, and we've all experienced this when we have fallen in love. When we fall in love, we're blinded to the faults and the problems that another person has. And yet, then we fall out of love and we start to see these people differently, and we're like, oh my gosh, why didn't I see that before? Well, the reason you didn't see it before is because you were in love. Now, what's wrong with being in love? I think that if we could have some of that blindness come back into our life, we could live a much happier life, because we're not going to be so sensitive to the things that other people do to us. These are some of the great benefits that you can receive by forgiving. One of the benefits that comes from forgiving is something I call core happiness. You feel so much better about yourself, so much better about all the people around you, because you no longer have those enemies surrounding you, that you just feel so much happier. Now, as I've worked with couples in coaching, when they finally get to realize the benefits of forgiving, their relationship changes. They are no longer at each other's throats. They're no longer looking for the exits on how to get out of this marriage. They're actually looking for ways to work together, to make it work, to grow their love, to build their relationship. And that's what you can experience as well. The other things that you could experience is that you become more accepting of your own weaknesses. None of us are perfect. And yet, when you forgive yourself and when you forgive others of their mistakes and their offenses, you start to realize that your weaknesses aren't that big of a deal. And when you can get rid of your weaknesses, then you feel better about yourself as well. Forgiving can also relieve some of the symptoms of depression. Now, I mentioned in an earlier video that there are some psychologists that are actually using forgiveness therapy as a way to treat depression. If you're feeling depression, I can guarantee you that learning how to authentically forgive the people that have offended you and forgiving yourself, you are going to feel some relief from that depression. Is it going to cure it? I can't say that. But is it going to make it better? Absolutely. These are just a few of the miracles that you can experience by learning to authentically forgive. In the next video, we're going to start to discuss the 6 steps to authentic forgiving. We're going to walk through them one at a time and help you learn the practical skill of forgiving so that you can practice it on a regular basis, so that you can make it a habit. And so unlike the 2/3 of the people that don't floss regularly and experience the great benefits of flossing, you can experience the great benefits that forgiving can bring into your life and experience the core happiness that I've talked about.